Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we continue on with our Launchpad ecosystem map series. We've talked about all different launchpads from Cardano to Solana to Avalanche and a bunch of smaller, essentially blockchain projects that have multiple different launchpads being built on top of them. Recently, we kind of knocked out all the ones where there's just one individual launchpad being built on it, like Avalanche, like Terra Luna, like Near, all these different ones, or Thorchain. Have just one individual launchpad project being built on it. But now we enter into this part of the series where we're talking about the most robust ecosystems like Ethereum Layer 1. We've already talked about Layer 2 with Polygon, the launchpads on there. But today we're talking about a launchpad project built on Polkadot. Now, very, very interesting what Polkadot is doing as far as launchpads go, because they had one of kind of the, I would say, first up there with TrustSwap and Duck Dime is Polkastarter, right? So Polkastarter absolutely killed it. I was a big fan and am a long-term holder of the Polkastarter token, but in today's video, we're really focusing on kind of an individual project that's doing something a bit different, right? They have a bit of a different view on this gaining access to early stage altcoins with really NFTs, which is quite interesting. I'm kind of using NFTs to wrap these tokens and provide liquidity for them, and that is Genesis Shards. We'll be talking all about this ecosystem, but before we do, definitely subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the notification bell. Click all, like the video throughout if you enjoy it, and follow our Twitter at investglobal_IO. You can also follow at Gen Shards at investglobal_IO. Everything we talk about in this video will be linked down below in the description, and also our Telegram group will be down below. That's basically all. Let's get into it. So, new marketplace for pre-IDO tokens. So essentially pre-IDO tokens, what does that mean? Well, that means they're either an incubator, an accelerator, or a launchpad. And really all of those I kind of put into the category of a launchpad, right? So throughout the series, we've talked about, like Duck Dime, for example, it's more of an incubator or accelerator. I think that's built on Cardano, if I remember correctly, or maybe accelerator might be on something else, but it's essentially an accelerator platform, right? So mainly launchpads, the whole concept of launchpads is it's really a category, is allowing you to have access to altcoins before they reach the market, right? So before they kind of gain this mass adoption. Let's see here. So transforming NFTs into a liquidity vehicle for pre-IDO tokens and a whole new suite of decentralized finance products across multiple blockchains. That's the beautiful thing about Polkadot that I love so much, is they're interoperable, right? So I always talk about on this channel that yes, there's all these different blockchain ecosystems, but they really shouldn't be an island, right? You look at countries. For example, I'm here in Ukraine while I'm recording this. And if a country like Ukraine had no imports and exports, they said, we're only doing business inside Ukraine, we're not going to be involved in the world, that country would honestly die off. There's not a lot of countries that are able to sustain because you have to rely on all these different aspects of all these different ecosystems, aka countries. And it's the exact same thing with blockchain ecosystems, right? Ethereum can't just be in a vacuum. Polkadot can't just be in a vacuum. Cardano can't just be in a vacuum. Solana can't just be in a vacuum. Binance Smart Chain can't just be in a vacuum. They can try, but for long-term growth, for mass adoption, true mass adoption, we need interoperability. We need cross-chain projects working together. That's what I love about Polkadots. Also, this use case for non-fungible tokens I love because mainly right now, in 2021, it's been people just think it's about digital art. There's so many more use cases for non-fungible tokens. For example, tickets to events, real estate. I think there's incredible use cases for verification methods with things like passports that you own in your own private wallet, not something that the government owns, but you own verifiably because it basically cracks down on fakes. It cracks down on counterfeits. So anyways, moving on from here, you can see if you go to the app here, this is what the actual app looks like. You have to connect your wallet here, which is very, very simple. If you want, I can do a tutorial video on the actual Genesis Shards decentralized application. We'll get to more things here on their main website, but you can see here, you can literally create your own token here, which is quite interesting. Let me go back here if it'll let me. Might have just had a problem with the site here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to the app. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was there. But if you go to the app here and you hit create, this is what I find interesting. So you can literally create a custom ticket. So you can create a token here, select it, number of types, all these different things, use custom ticket design. You can set out the cards. This is awesome. I absolutely love this. And it's fascinating what they're doing here, Genesis Shards. So back over here, besides that, the other parts of that platform are you have to connect a wallet. And today, that's not the focus of today's video. I'm basically just focusing on the fundamentals of the project, but I'm always happy to do a follow-up video on any of the projects that I talk about on this channel. We don't just talk about blockchain, by the way. We talk about all different things with global investment strategies, emerging market investing. That's kind of what I do when I'm traveling around, looking at real estate opportunities, offshore banking, legal offshore banking. Everything we talk about is obviously legal on this channel. Second passports, residencies, many different things, commodity investing, and kind of macro macro thoughts. So rethinking NFTs. So not only collectibles, but as DeFi options. Now, I love this, right? So the use case aspect, I absolutely love. They're really using this idea of NFTs with non-fungible tokens of scarcity, true scarcity on the blockchain, verifiable scarcity, and applying it to the Launchpad ecosystem. So this is something that I find fascinating. By wrapping time-locked fungible tokens into NFTs, we can create a new market for previously illiquid tokens. Let's see here. So you can see all these different things. So this is what it looks like, pre-IDO. This is like tokens are rock, right? It's illiquid, and then you put them into a new market, and it's instant liquidity if you have mass adoption. The reason that I find this so interesting is because you'll be able to plug it in with all these different blockchains, right? Because Ethereum has kind of this Metcalfe's law behind it. When you just look at the total number of people holding the wallets, when you add it to a market like that, like if they're able to integrate with something like TrustSwap, man, you have a ton of liquidity there, especially if you don't have kind of this very, very high barrier to entry that we see with a lot of these launch pads. Mainly that's one of the things I talk about throughout the series is what's the actual minimum allocation you need to get a guaranteed allocation. So what's the minimum amount of stake that you need with something like TrustSwap or Polkadot? It's around $5,000, right? Because the token is done very, very well. But for example, in the Near blockchain ecosystem, you have something called Nearpad, and with that, it's like $100 to get a guaranteed allocation. So very interesting as far as that goes. So you can see new tokens here, illiquid tokens due to various reasons, including interfering with the IDO plan, NFT wrappers, NFT wrap liquidity tokens that isolate circulating tokens, enabling early price discovery and Launchpad style crowdsource exposure. Love it. IDO, so initial DEX offering, non-fungible tokens containing pre-IDO tokens can be swapped for post-IDO tokens. That's the most fascinating thing in my opinion, because essentially you're able to use this concept of like wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum that we already have in the blockchain ecosystem, and apply this with NFTs. So basically create a wrapper around these pre-IDO tokens and then sell them for the same. It's on the same essentially token, right? So it's the exact same token, the same prices you get pre-IDO versus post-IDO. I don't necessarily mean the same prices. I mean, you can trade it one for one, right? So I apologize for not explaining that the proper way. Essentially, you wrap the token pre-IDO, you can sell it for the price, whatever the price changes, post-IDO, right? So that's the whole concept there, but you're able to get in early before the masses do. So you can see here, so intricately designed pieces of a building on the Genesis Shard ecosystem. So you can see the SGS token. This is a utility token access for the Gen access. You can see this. So entry to the Genesis Shards ecosystem, allowing the Gen tickets. So this is the actual GS. Around 2,330 people like this on CoinGecko, right around 12 cents currently. It's retraced quite significantly from when it first got launched. It really hit those highs up around we were around like $2.60, something like that. And yeah, it's retraced quite significantly back down. So interesting what's going on here. Obviously, you have to do your own research with any projects I talk about on this channel. I have a video for that, like how to do your own research and all the different strategies for that, link down below in the description. So Gen tickets, each ticket will be varying the amount of pre-IDO tokens that are inside. Tickets can be traded on Gen NFTX or swapped for post-IDO tokens. You can see that. Then Gen NFTX, marketplace for decentralized finance products coming out of the Genesis Shards ecosystem with the ability to shard non-fungible tokens for fractional swaps. So I do like the fractional capabilities here because it adds more optionality to Launchpads. This is the Gen Shard ecosystem. You can see what's going on here. So the Gen SAFTS, that's the actual liquidity. You have the Polkadot Genesis Shard powering the by Polkadot, so the interchain liquidity. Gen tickets popping in there. So the GS native tokens, all these things, very, very interesting as far as that goes. Architecture here, I'm not sure. So pre-IDO tokens, you can see that. NFT wrap tokens. So as I said, you can essentially retain full control of the tokens and supply in the NFT. Again, not an NFT like digital art. It's essentially like a claim. It's a verification or proof, right? That you have access to this, right? So you have allocation. Create isolated ecosystems of NFT wrap tokens that don't interfere with IDO plans and enable liquidity of illiquid tokens. Okay, so the Gen ecosystem tokens can be swapped within the Genesis Shard ecosystem, leveraging the existing network and influence to harness marketing power of the community. So I do like that. Like I said, I mean, I don't think that they have, over 80,000 followers here on Twitter. Again, you can buy followers, but still, I do like what they're doing here. Also, you can follow the partners and the owners here, okay? So I think this guy, if I remember, correctly, he's the owner. Yep. Okay, so anyways, that's basically it as far as that goes. We can move down here a little bit further and then wrap this video up. So you can see the investor partners there, Moonwhale, Shima, Twin Apex, Master Venture. So they have some pretty solid backers. Vendetta, yeah. interesting to see. This is the core team. So Garland Wong, he's the head of the project. Then you can see the other guys, which I think are the ones we talked about on Twitter. So Jay Chung, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. But yeah, it's basically all for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Genesis Shards. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are. Also, like I said, you can follow our Telegram group, link down below in the description, just because YouTube has been deleting my response to comments, which has been very, very annoying. And I know a lot of other people are running into the same issue. So you can join our Telegram group, link down below. Also, as I said, follow us on Twitter at investglobal_IO. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you have any questions, any comments, again, either leave them down below or join the Telegram group. We can have kind of a further discussion. The problem with YouTube, as I said, somebody leaves a comment, I leave a response, randomly they get deleted, right? It's very, very annoying. But to continue on, like the video, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date, hit the notification bell, click all. That's all for this video. Invest Global, and until next time.